consent to the wars you use to kill the poor. We do not consent to your taxes and mandatory vaccines. We do not consent to the GMOs that you grow. We do not consent to adhering your geoengineering.
We don't consent to the fluoride in the water supply, blinding our third eye and keeping us confined. We don't consent to the wars you wage every day, bombing innocent children hundreds of miles away. We don't consent to you hiding our true history, or your secret societies keeping it a mystery. Cause you've been lying to all of us for centuries. Now it's time we break through your green screen reality. There won't be a rock and turn for y'all to be hiding. You're unprepared for the upcoming uprising, and no denying that you've ruled for too long. And we're chipping away at your armor with each song. We use the truth to put an end to the abuse. Once you see what's to come, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. You think we're just lambs lining up for the slaughter, but we're here to make your new world have no order.
We do not consent to the wars you use to kill the poor. We do not consent to your taxes and mandatory vaccines. We do not consent to the GMOs that you grow. We do not consent to adhering your geoengineering.
We don't consent to the chemicals you're spraying above us, and we don't consent to the criminals you're paying to run us. We don't consent to your false flag attacks and shooting hoaxes. We're standing up now and letting you know we're truly focused. We don't consent to your central bank or your corporations. We practice discipline, citizen, and subordination. We don't consent to the 1% having everything. We don't consent to be puppets, we're cutting every string. I know one thing for certain, they won't control me. You had to have heard the name by now, they call me OD. I don't consent to the media telling lies to me. I don't consent to them engineering society. It's time to take over this shit, so now we're locked and loaded, ready for anything that happens at any moment. We're wide awake, there's no way that we'll ever go back. Never sleep again, and we wanted to let you know that
we do not consent to the wars you use to kill the poor. We do not consent to your taxes and mandatory vaccines. We do not consent to the GMOs that you grow. We do not consent to adhering your geoengineering. We do not consent.
Yeah, it's too late, the door's been closed. Too many stories been told.
It's a funny game. Don't believe that it's all the same. Just think what I just said.
All right, what's up? Welcome. Hold on a second. This is live, so if you're not watching live, then it'll be up. You can watch it later. What's up? How you doing, everybody in the chat? I want to know more. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? Good to see you here. Three fingers. So this, I want to talk about some things today on this show. It's going to be about my back. You can see in the title. This is going to be, one second, explaining what happened with my back injury from the beginning to basically right now, like the current moment, because it changes. You know, it's been changing and it's got worse and then it's gotten better. So I'll go through it. All right, that's what's up. Good to that's good to hear, bro. That's good. I'm trying to do better myself. That's why I'm doing this live stream. And talk about a little bit about myself and what happened and how I got here, just a bunch of things. And so this might be a little bit long, maybe about an hour, maybe more. I tried to do this stream yesterday, but I was having issues, so couldn't go live yesterday. And I was having troubles today too, but I was able to right before the stream I got it straightened out, hopefully. So so yeah, so I'll start basically 2018, November 2018, like the middle of the month, the 14th or the 15th, whatever. Forgot exactly what day. But I was working. All right, so I had got it. I had stopped working that summer. I was I had got fired from the job that I was working at. It was a cleaning job. It was a lot. I couldn't handle it. It was overnight, and it was just a lot of work. I had to drive for hours, so so I couldn't do it. So after like a few months, I got fired. That was in the summer of 2018, before I hurt my back. So I was like, struggling, didn't know what to do. I was about to get kicked out. Yeah, I'll get into it. I had 5 herniated discs, but I'll get into it. I'll show you the paperwork. Um, so I didn't know what to do. I had a little apartment or a room, studio, whatever. I was renting. I had a little car, whatever, and I had a little bit of money saved, and that was it. And I didn't know what to do. I was struggling, so I was like looking for other work. I was looking for other jobs. I couldn't find a job. Then finally, towards the end of the summer, I was just not doing anything during the whole summer. I was looking for work, but besides that, I wasn't doing anything. So finally, towards the end of the summer, I got a job. It was a temporary job. I got at a temp agency, and it was at a factory doing. It was a candy factory, like a chocolate candy factory, and it was just basically packing boxes, packing candy, stuff like that, just standing up, and that's it. And then so I was working there a few months. Started in like the end of August, beginning of September, and mind you, so I had woke up to Flat Earth in 2017. So this is a year after I woke up to like everything. I'm still like new, but I woke up like to a lot, like more than most people, like even today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wanna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that more towards the end about my disc, and get you guys ideas. But anyway, so so I was woke, and there was a few people there that at the factory that I was working at that I had like a couple, like one person, maybe 2 people that I had told about the flat Earth, and they was like, "Nah, you're crazy," but they were still cool with me. So I was like, "Oh, that's cool." So and mind you, I'm still like new, even though it was like a year, maybe a year and a half after flat Earth and like all the conspiracies, the moon, and just everything, the whole government and stuff like that. So, um, so, so I'm just working, I'm doing my job, and I'm just learning stuff basically. That's it. I'm just learning, and then, and I also have like, some mental issues, like, quote unquote, they say, which is what I was dealing with at the time as well for years now. But I always worked, and I always had a job, and I was always able to have something, but I was still struggling. So anyway, but at this factory, this is the first time I started making like, well, the second time really. Like earlier that year, the job that I had before in the summer, cleaning, I was making money, but it was, like I said, it was hard work and a lot of hours. But this factory job, it wasn't that much hard work, and I was making pretty much the same amount of money. So I was like, all right, this is great. This is the first time in my life since I graduated high school, in 2010. that I have a good job and I'm stable. So I was gonna start saving up, And oh, by the way, I lost my car right before I got that job. Um, so I had no car at that factory, working at that factory. I was just taking my bike to work and walking, um, saving up money. Okay, so that was September, October, November comes 2018, and now and then so I'm working one night, second shift, and it's like maybe 7, 8 o'clock, and there's like a huge table. It's like a skinny table. It's long. It's real long, and there's a belt, electric belt on it, and that's where all the items go on the belt and they flow down, and it just the belt goes around, and the table was metal too. So basically, one of the um one of the other workers told me to come around to the other side. So I was like, all right. So she was like, hurry up. So I was like, okay. She was a young girl. So I was like, all right. So instead of going all the way around the table to get to the other side, I said, let me just go underneath the table and try and, cut across. So I did. I went under. It was like a rusking table. On the other side of that table, it was the girl and the other workers. They were like, calling me over. And there was a bunch of wires on the floor too, which was a huge flag, I guess, red flag. But that's not what got me. What got me was the fact that when I went under the table, I thought I had fully went to the other side, but I didn't. I basically should I turn my camera on? But I basically was still underneath the table and I went to stand up basically. So I was underneath the table and like halfway, like not my whole back because it was my lower back. So it was like a quarter of my back, I guess, was still stick underneath the table. And that's when I went to stand up. And there was like a long metal bar across the table, underneath the table, that was attached to the table. Um, it was just aligned with the table pretty much, but I pretty much hit that. And right away, I felt a huge pinch in my back. And I just started, I ran to the other side again, and I just started walking off. And let me see. Maybe I can put my camera on. Is that better? I'll just put my camera on. All right. So yeah, so I went underneath the table, and then I felt the pinch, and then right then and there, I was holding my back, just walking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I didn't get no ice. I should have got ice. I was supposed to get ice, but I didn't. Wasn't thinking at all at the time, so I just didn't get any ice. Even after, I'll talk about it more, but even after that, I still didn't have any ice for like a while. I did ice it like once or twice, but then I'll get into it more. So I just I'm gonna turn the camera back off for a minute. So basically, so I went to right after that. I took a break, and I went to the break room. Took a 15-minute break. Was sitting down. I was in a lot of pain. So, but I really thought that it was just gonna go away the next day or whatever, next week. The whole time I was thinking that until literally the next day. But so took a break and then started going down a little bit. So I was like, all right. But then it was still hurting. So I was like, all right. So I just went back to work, finished work. I was like, yeah, I told one person, like one of the coworkers, not like a manager or anything. I told one of the coworkers that, yeah, I just hit my back. And she was like, oh, that sucks. She was like, you gonna say anything? I was like, no, I'll just let it go, something like that. And whatever. I never said anything. I never told anybody else. I never at the job. I never did anything. I thought that it was gonna be. I thought that because it was my fault that they was gonna say, we can't do anything. Sorry. So I just let it go. So anyway, so shift ended. 2 hours later, started walking home. I was limping home. Actually, I was limping home the whole time. I was in a little bit of pain. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'll just go home and pop an Advil and go to sleep, whatever. So I did that when I think I smoked. Obviously, I smoked a joint or whatever. Went to bed. I woke up the next morning and I couldn't, like, everything was swollen. Like my whole chest was swollen, my back, even like my legs a little bit. Like not my whole legs, but just like the top half of my legs. Um, and everything just fell off. So I was like, wow. So I was just like, all right. So it did get pretty bad, and it did get worse. I was like, all right. So right there, I just started going, like, in my mind, I'm just like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Like I just seen like my whole life flash, even for like a whole month or two. I just kept seeing my whole life flash in front of me. Like literally for a whole month, like not for like a few days, a week, no. So so that day, so it was swollen. I couldn't walk, like I couldn't get up. I tried to get up and I couldn't. I went to the bathroom, laid right back down. The whole day I was like in bed. Um, and then I don't remember if I told anybody that day, if I waited. I think I waited like a few days before I told anybody, like my father, my mother, whatever. And so the day after that, then I was like, the pain was still there, even maybe even just a little bit worse, but it was still there. And I was like, all right, this is really not good. Like, what am I gonna do? So I think that's when I think I made the phone call, like, all right, after like 2 or 3 days, I was like, all right, this is not going away. The pain, just stayed there and probably got, like I said, it just got worse. And I didn't get out of bed for like the 3 days, even like a week. But after the 3 days, I made the phone calls, like telling everybody, like, yeah, I got hurt, this and that. Well, and I think also like a day or two after, I got hurt. Um, I'll try to go to work again, the same job. I got up. I was like, let me just try and do it. It was snowing that day too. It had just started snowing. It was coming down hard too. And I was like, wow. So I got to go to work in this snow with a back that I just broke the day before. So I was like, all right. So I went to try and like to wait for the bus. Waited for the bus, and the pain was so bad. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I went to work. I got on the bus. I went to work. I was there for like an hour. Not even like they when I went there, they didn't make us do much. They were just having us stand around for like maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. So I was like, all right, I was in pain the whole time, and it just kept getting worse. That as I was standing up, like the longer the time went, it just kept getting worse. I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. So I was like, let me just see. So then it was like, all right, we want you to go over here and start packing boxes. I was like, all right. So I went right away, started packing boxes. This was like the day after I got hurt. Maybe, yeah, like the day after, maybe 2 days, but I think it was the day after. So I was like, all right. And I knew like that I wasn't gonna be able to do it, but I was like, let me just try. I'm just gonna see, because like I said, I didn't know what to do. I can't like I'm not gonna, like, eventually, yes, I quit like a few days later, but I was like, what am I gonna do? Like I don't have any, no, I'm not gonna have any income. I'm gonna get kicked out. Like what's gonna happen? So anyway, started packing the boxes, and like 10 minutes in, I was like, the pain just kept getting worse and worse. So I was like, all right, I definitely can't do this now. So I went and told one of the managers, I was like, look, I gotta go home. I'm not feeling well. She was like, all right, you're gonna get a point, this and that. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't feel well. I can't finish this shift. He's like, all right. So I went home. Okay, fine. Then, I went back to bed. Then I think the next day after that, the next day after that is when I made the phone calls to everybody, like, look, I can't. And then I tried to go to work again. That's when I was like, try to get on the bus. I couldn't do it. And I called the job. I said, look, I'm calling off again. I can't come in. And then they said, all right, you're going to get another point. And I was like, all right. And then eventually I didn't go back in. So they kept giving me points. And then, obviously they're going to take you off the books. So that's what they did. And so I got hurt. At the end of my shift, the next day I went in, left after like an hour. The next day I tried to go in, I couldn't, and then after that I just basically was in bed. So I was in bed the rest of November, all of December. Um, the end of December, went to Otika. My father wanted to see me. I wanted to see my father. I was in so much pain. Like the pain, after like the month, like all of November and pretty much all of December, it was like Christmas. Around Christmas is when I left to take a trip to New York, and then but that whole month I was like in bed. I was in bed the whole month. Didn't move. Got up. I didn't have any money, so every day I would get up, go to the dollar store, just get a cheap carton of eggs, some milk, some bread, a little butter, and then that was it. I would eat that for like pretty much every day for the whole month. That's what I survived off of. And then after, because I lost my. I started. You know what? I went to the hospital. That's when I started going to the hospital. Started going to the hospital in like December, like the beginning of December, because that's how bad it was. It was like it was getting worse. Every day I was in bed. I couldn't get up. Like I couldn't do anything. I felt like let me see. I got my notes here, and I don't know why I'm not going off of my notes. But yeah, my whole chest like was swollen. My back, my whole neck, my shoulders, especially my left shoulder, was the worst. Um, so yeah, I'm sorry if I'm dragging this. I hope you guys. I don't know if anybody's still here, but let me see if I can get my notes real quick. Yeah, because this is gonna be a long story. So let me see when I went to the hospital. I don't know if I have that paperwork. I think that paperwork is upstairs right now. Yeah, because this is all right. So yeah, so I went to the ER sometime in December. So I got hurt in November, the middle of November. Went to the hospital like the beginning of December, probably. Maybe even like the last week of November. I have to get the paperwork. But I went, they took x-rays, they said nothing. I was in so much pain. I had my mom bring me. I could hardly walk. I couldn't sit down. I can't sit down much. It's hard for me to sit down. So they told me, they had me waiting for hours, of course, and then took the x-ray, said there's nothing broken, which I felt like there was at least a fracture because I know my spine shifted. I know it moved. I know that for a fact because the other doctors told me that. So, but they said there was nothing fractured or broken. Okay, fine. But it definitely shifted. And I definitely had, the degenerative disc. I have the paperwork here. So I went to the hospital. So like I said, they let me out like the same day, like the same night. Went home, was in pain still. I think like a week later, I went again to the ER. They did the same thing. They told me the same thing. I even went a third time in December again. And I think that one was for mental health. But either way, they still told me that there's nothing that they can do to go home. And so, mind you, I'm in so much pain. I can't move. I can't go to work. I can't walk. Can't do anything. I have no help. Not even the doctors would help me. The ER, nobody. My family, they was feeling bad. I'm sure because they told me, "Oh, I'm sorry," but they didn't do anything for me, right? Okay, fine, whatever. So I'm in once again, I'm in my head. I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So, but anyway. So I don't want to talk bad about nobody, but um, so finally, so I figured out. So right then, I figured out a little bit, at least. I figured out a little bit, like, okay, they're not gonna help me. So what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? They're not gonna help me. I got to figure something out. Um, so I was in bed the whole month, December, like I said. Um, the swelling went down a little bit, but I was still in so much pain, that if I was to just move a certain way, I would be down, even probably like, it would probably get even worse. And which it did later on, and I'll explain that. But so anyway, and this is how bad it was because I'm still not healed right now. I'm still in pain. It's a lot better now because I've been going to the chiropractor, and that's the thing. I don't have any money to go to the chiropractor. If I just had $40 to go to the chiropractor, I can go and I can feel even better. Like keep progressing, which is what I was doing for the past year. Anyway, I'm getting too far ahead. So, so I took a trip to New York. I went in a van, like this service company van, service van, taxi van that they go back and forth to different local states, New York, So I was in the van for a few hours. I was in a lot of pain, but I just took it, whatever, This was my first time like really leaving the house in like a month, even like in my own, where I live at this time in 2018, because I just couldn't get around much. But I was just going from van. I was going from where I was to New York, which is like few hours. I was in the van the whole time, so I was in pain, but I was just sitting down. So I was like, all right. And it was crowded too. It was cramped, and I was just like, I was just stressed out. But I made it, whatever. And so that was the first trip that I made, and I knew right away like I wasn't gonna be able to do that, too much, obviously. Um, so then I came back like a week later, whatever. I was just in bed, Um, came back a week later, and then I was like in bed, still in pain, didn't know what to do. I was starting to set up doctor's appointments to see what was going on, because the ER wasn't gonna do nothing, because I went to the ER like 3 times in the past month that before, and they didn't do anything. So they said I have to see a specialist and a doctor and all that. So I was like, all right. So that's why I gave the doctors a benefit of the doubt, gave a little bit of hope and saying, okay, maybe something can be done. So I started setting up appointments to go to the doctor. So let me see. So anyway, so basically I couldn't do anything. I still couldn't do anything. I had to wait for the doctors. Meanwhile, I couldn't even walk. I had nobody helping me. I had no money. I was running out of rent. I was running out of, I had a little bit of money saved from the job that I was doing before, and I was using that for rent. So I was using that, and that was running out. So I was like, all right, I got to figure something out. So it's January 2019 now, and I started looking for other work. So I found another job. I started working at, I applied for Walmart. So I was like, this is the only thing that I can get at the time. I was looking for work, and I only had a short period of time. Now this was like a really bad time because I didn't have, like, unlike before, I had the whole summer to like just look for job, look for work, and then finally something came through. I was like, all right. And my back wasn't hurting at the time, in 2018, the summer. So 2019, January, so I'm looking for work. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Walmart was the only place hiring. So I was like, all right, let me try it. You just give it a shot, whatever, just do it. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't have no help. I knew, there was like a few people on YouTube, but it wasn't that many. It was only like, there was big people, but only a few. It wasn't many. And then, people in chat and stuff like that. But, so anyway, And then later on is why, like last year, I was going crazy in chest because I was just so much pain. But anyway, so I got the job in like the beginning of January, like first, second week. Um, Started working. I was doing, I was basically unloading the trucks, like whatever the stock, receiving or whatever it's called. It's doing that. I mean, it was the only position I wanted to switch positions, but there was no hardly any other positions, and I couldn't do the cashier because that would have been even worse. So I just stuck. I just did that, whatever. So I was in since day one. And I told a few people there, before, like after I started, I was like, look, I got a little back problem, and um, I didn't tell him everything. I just told him I got, a little back problem. But it was really bad at the time. But and at this time it was my back. So it was my back, my lower back. Um, it went all the way up from my lower back, my lower spine, up to my neck, really, and over to my left side and my left shoulder, and um, a little bit. It didn't go down my leg until like a year after. Like a year after I got hurt, it started going down my leg. So anyway, so I'll get into that. So because I was working at Walmart January 19, it was like my back was hurting a lot. But my legs, I was able to walk okay. Like I limped a little bit because of my back, and I was walking slow because of my back, but I wasn't like limping bad. So anyway, so I'm working, and then so went to the doctors a few times. They told me, oh, we just have this pill for you. Uh, you sure it's not nothing else? You sure you're not, I'm like, no, doc, I can't walk. I'm in a lot of pain. I need help. Like, she was like, oh, you want to try this pill? You want to try that pill? I'm like, I've tried these pills already. They don't do anything for me. They don't do anything for my back. They don't help. My back is still in pain. I put ice on it. I do everything. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I can't walk, like I can't lift, obviously. So like, what am I supposed to do? I can't work. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the doctor. I'm sorry, whatever. She was like, oh, so this is the regular doctor. She was like, oh, you have to see the neurosurgeon, the special doctor. So I'm like, all right. So meanwhile, they give me all these pills, and I'm like, I'm not they do nothing for me. I'm not taking these pills. So all right. So I'm once again, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Back in my head, like, so I'm thinking now again, once again, like, all right, these doctors they're screwing me over now. So it's like, this is getting serious. What am I gonna do? So I was like, all right. So I'm trying to like hang in there. So I'm working. So I'm making money. So that's a good thing. So I'm able to survive. Um, but my back is killing me. Every day I come home, like I go to work, I wake up in pain, go to work, like in pain. But at this time, like for some reason, like I still have some strength in me. Like physically, I had strength still, even though I was in a lot of pain. Eventually that would wear off, but I still had some strength, and I was like, still like, keep going. I was like, I gotta do this or whatever. So then a few months go by. So it's now April 2019. I'm still working, in a lot of pain, whatever. And I started going to therapy. Mind you, I'm working 40 hours, 5 days a week. Then I started going to therapy like 2 days a week. And then between the therapy and the work, so April, May, I was in a lot of pain, right? Let me stop there. So I'm going to therapy, and it's not helping much either. Like I go to therapy, and they would give me a massage first, right? They would give me a massage in my back, and this is when this is after I got like government insurance and food stamps because well, actually I shouldn't have got it, but because I did started working. No, I got it afterwards. Okay, I'm sorry, I got it afterwards. But anyway, so I'm going to therapy, and they're doing the massage, and it feels good a little bit. It hurts like crazy, but the massage itself, it helps to move the muscles, I guess, and whatever's going on helps, but then at the end it makes me really sore, and then the next day I'll get up and I'm like can't even move, but then I had to go to work. So I'm doing the therapy, I'm doing the work, and then and actually I think like in May, it may have been after that, but I know it was in the summer. That summer, um, one of the physical therapy is a guy, and he's like a huge football player, like muscular type dude, and big tall dude. So I'm like, all right. But he was working on my back for a few times, like for a few weeks um, before this day that I went in, and he started working on my back one day. And I told him, I was like, look, I'm a little sore from the day before. I'm always sore, but I told him, I said, look, I'm a little extra sore today. So if you could just take it easy, whatever, whatever. And for some reason, he just did like some extra super tight, um, like, I don't even know what to call it, but he was basically like working on my back, like massaging the back. And then he just started digging in like to my spine. Like, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, it was like he was trying to um, like almost doing like what the chiropractor does, but he wasn't doing it right. So I'm just like, yo, what are you doing? Like, it started hurting like crazy. He was just pushing down on my back, pushing down like in, like I felt my whole back like started crushing in. I'm like, so then I told him, I was like, look, you can't do that no more. And then he chilled after that. But I was like down for like a few weeks after that. To like honestly, I was down for a few weeks. It took me a few weeks of more therapy and just more stuff to get through that on top of like the original, my original pain that I had. So this is what I said this is what I mean when I said that it got worse. So, so now once again, so now this is like May. I think this is May. Can't remember, but I quit. Basically, I quit Walmart in June. I quit Walmart in June 2019. So I was working there for 6 months. Quit in June because I told him I wanted to switch positions, and because the receiving was hurting my back too much, and it was like, all right. They was like, we have to go through a whole new process. You have to get a whole background and the whole drug test. I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? I'm already working here. I just want to do the other position, the greeting position, you know. So I started doing it, but they didn't do anything yet. And then but then that position ended up being worse because I was just standing there for like at least 6 hours, if not more, just standing there greeting people, and then that was making it worse. So I was like, all right. So between that and the therapy, because from therapy, I was sore every time I get out of therapy. The next day, I would wake up and I was even more sore than I was before the therapy, you know. So and it wasn't helping. The first time I went to therapy in 2019, it wasn't helping. So so I quit in June. And I stayed home. I had money saved. Once I saved money from the 6 months I was working there. Once again, I had saved money, so that was a good thing. I was able to survive once again, and I was just like, let me just stay home and just try and fix this and get this worked out. And sorry. So stayed home. Uh, Beginning of June, I was in a lot of pain still. Like I couldn't, like this time and I was still going to therapy. I was going to therapy twice a week still. So, and it wasn't even helping. Like I was doing everything. Once again, I was doing everything. I was even working. So you can't tell me like, oh, well, why don't you just work through the pain? Like, oh, I did. I tried. And look what happened. I had to quit. I quit because it was just too much. I couldn't do it. Okay, moving on. So the whole summer goes by. It's now like August, September again, 2019. My money starts running out. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I'm in a lot of pain. I was like I said, I was going to therapy. I was I was doing as much as I can. I was doing ice at home this time. Finally, because the first few months I didn't do any ice because it was winter as well. That's why I didn't do any ice. So, and it was just too cold. I was like, and so I just did the heat. Um, so, did the ice, and I didn't even want to take the pills. Like, I don't want to take pills. Even like it didn't do anything for me. So why would I take them anyway? You know. Plus, I know what they are. I know how harmful they are. I know how bad they are. And they didn't even give me any opiates or any narcotics or whatever. They didn't give me any of that. Um, so I was blazing a lot, yeah, because that was the only thing that helped me, and it's natural, it's safe, and mind you, this whole time, mind you, I forgot to mention this whole time, even before I hurt my back, but I'm not gonna get into it. But since I hurt my back in November, where I would live, these places that I would live, the neighbors would mess with me, so I would be in bed in pain, trying to like the only thing I can do is like sleep. I can't even move a muscle because every time I would move my arm, my leg, I would be crying in pain. So I would just be laying there, and then everybody else would just be making noise and just like not caring and not caring about me and the pain that I was in. I let it go for a while. I didn't say anything. I'm just trying to ignore it. I put my headphones in, whatever, do everything that they tell me to do. Um, so from November 2018 to I want to say March of 2019, I was living in a room. I was living in a room, and then like after I was working and I had saved up a little bit more money, I had moved in yeah, like March. I want to say like March. And so I'm living in this other room from March 2019 till about August, September 2019, maybe even October. But anyway, so the landlord is trying to take me to court because I don't have any money, because I hurt my back because I couldn't work. I can't work because I hurt my back. So I'm trying to tell him, I said, look, just give me a few weeks, whatever, And at first he was cool. At first he was cool with it. Like in the summertime, he was cool with it. But then after that, I was in so much pain. I was like, look, I'm in pain. I don't know what to do. He was like, well, I'm just going to give you like another week or whatever. And I was like, damn. So, once again, I'm like, what am I going to do? So this is the end of summer 2019. So October, I hope I'm talking. I hope you guys can hear me. So October, I find another job, and because like, what am I gonna do? Nobody's gonna help me. Also, actually, I'm skipping over the MRI part. Let me see if I can show that. Cause yeah, let me before I even get to October, let me go back to the summer. Because the summer I was also going to doctors. Okay, good. I'm glad you're still here. You're still here, bro. I thought I was talking to I know people are gonna watch this later, but it's like I feel like I'm talking to myself sometimes. So in the summer 2019, I was going to doctors and hospital, whatever, getting MRIs done. So July 2019, got my wait, was it July? I'm sorry. Might have been, hold on, let me get the paperwork. Oh, it was February of 2019. Got my first MRI. And this is basically it right here. Let me put the camera on. My camera's not that great, but let me see if you can see this probably. Shit. Hope you didn't see that. Hold on. My bad. All right, so exam date 2019, MRI, spine, blah blah blah. Can't really see it. Yeah, so this is what I'll read it out first and then I'll show you. Um, and this is I'll try my best to listen to the end, man. It's hard to talk about yourself. I'll try my best to listen to the end. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. um, I mean, I'm talking about this because this affect me big in my life, and I'm sure this happens a lot to other people too. And I wanna like try and reach out and tell people like like this is what they're doing, just like with everything else, especially with flat Earth, with the Mandela effect, 9/11, you name it, all this stuff. Like people need to wake up, like that's what we're trying to say. So, imaging L1, L2 demonstrates minimal annular bulge without significant spinal or foraminal stenosis. At L2 to 3, there's a slightly greater annular bulge with ligament hypertrophy. Overall, no significant spinal or stenosis. How do you put those two words in the same sentence, first of all? Which is hypertrophy, greater annular bulge with hypertrophy, but overall, no spinal stenosis. Come on. At 3 to 4, mild annular bulge with mild ligament hypertrophy noted. There is a mild spinal and bilateral stenosis. Okay, so there's a stenosis in there. At 4 to 5, mild annular bulge with ligament and minimal facet hypertrophy is seen at best minimal proximal bilateral narrowing. And then it says no spinal stenosis. Yeah, the medical industry will keep you down and sick. They need repeat customers. Exactly. That's exactly my point. So, and that was 3 to 4. No, that was 4 to 5. I'm sorry. And then at L5 to S1, there is nothing. Okay, whatever. So, but that's just what they say. But this whole thing is like, it's like bull to me, because how do you say, and then this is what they tell me, right? This is what the doctor, the neurosurgeon that I saw, this is what he told me. Let me see if I can get his name. This is crazy. And where's my other MRI? Because I took 2 MRIs total. Actually, I took 3. I didn't even get the 3rd report yet, but I'm not even get into that. Then the X-rays that I took in December, actually 2018, says sounds like it. What do you mean contradictory diagnosis? Yeah, they can't diagnose it. Like they can't tell me what it is, and like oh, there's something wrong. Like they can't give me a name because they're telling me that there's nothing. But meanwhile, the MRI shows that there's bulge, there's hypertrophy, there's stenosis. I'm in a lot of pain. Like how are you gonna tell me? Because the doctors, look, the doctors literally told me you're not in pain, you're fine, go home. That's their exact words. I wish I could have recorded it. I wish I could have recorded it. That was one doctor. The other doctor told me the same thing. Basically, he's like, there's nothing we can do. Sorry, He said, maybe you're not in pain. Then I'm like, what do you mean? Maybe I'm not in pain. I said, I can't walk. What do you mean I'm not in pain? So, that was like 2019, maybe even 2020. So anyway, so the MRI, the November, December 2018 X-ray show no fracture. Yeah, I already said that. No dislocation. Says unremarkable. Yeah, okay. But I had just got hurt like a few weeks before, so if there was something there, it would be really hard to tell. It would be hard to see it. But even like after the chiropractor and some other doctors told me, like they showed me a diagram. Your spine was twisted out of place. So I was like, okay. So that's called dislocation, if I'm not mistaken. which the X-ray says no dislocation. So yeah, so this is why I'm highly fired up. I'll just show this real quick. It's kind of hard to see, but you get the point. Let me get the other one. Yeah, took another MRI in July 2019. Must have been, I guess it's a different doctor, but yeah, no evidence of acute lumbar fracture. And this is why I get so screwed going to like trying to get work, trying to get disability, you know, even talk to my own family about this stuff because my own family is saying, oh, you know, the doctors are saying this on the paper. So I'm like, yeah, but they don't feel my pain. Like they don't know how much pain I'm in. And like he just said, the medical industry just wants to keep you down and sick. They don't want to help you. They don't want to heal you. It says minimal grade L1, L2 to 3 to 4 retrodius on extension. Don't know what that means, which reduces on natural and flexion. Okay, it reduces on neutral and flexion, whatever that means. It sounds like it reduces the like your extension of your muscle, like your flex, which is exactly what I had. But then the next sentence or the next word, it says no spondylolisthesis, whatever. Mild upper lumbar degenerative disc disease. Why does it say that? Mild upper lumbar degenerative disc disease. Why does it even say that? Yeah, my upper back was hurting a lot up to my neck, but it was my lower back that was really bad, and I had the bulge and the narrowing of the nerves. So I don't get it. And going back to the annular bulge, when it says annular bulge, the one doctor told me that just means that for everybody has this. He says every year as you get older, your spine gets smaller, like, you know, worse and worse, basically, in a way, not a lot, but like it slightly goes bad, you know, as the older you get, just like the rest of your body. So I'm like, okay, but I got hurt, and I wasn't hurt before. I was in no pain, had nothing wrong with my back. Then I get hurt. I get these MRIs. I come to the doctor. I'm in pain, and you tell me that it's just a natural thing that everyone gets as they get older. I'm not even 30. I'm not even 30. So, you know, that kind of ticked me off. And what else? He said something else. He said that what did he say? I can't remember now. I just thought about it. So yeah, I'm going through all these doctors, therapy. I went back to another therapy. I went to therapy 4 times. Turn this back off. I went to therapy 4 times total from then to now. So I'm still in 2019. This is still 3 years ago. So I'm still in pain. So now it's the end of summer, and I find another job. This job it was kind of cool because it was just part-time. I was like 20 hours a week, which is I could stand that at the time because it was just a desk job. It was just sitting at a desk, so taking calls, answering phones. So I was like, all right, cool. It wasn't that much pay, and it was part time, but it helped me to survive, to pay my bills, to pay rent. So I think yeah. So I got kicked out in October, 2019. I got kicked out. Went to court and everything. Got kicked out. I got lucky. Found another place, and I had happened to just have enough money to put on that new place, the new room. And then I had just got that job, so I was able to, keep going and figure out what's next, basically, because I didn't know. I'm just thinking like I'm just living off of day by day, like, and I'm just thinking like any day could be my last because the amount of pain I was in and the fact that I had no help, no nothing, I had just a little bit of food, little bit of money, like barely any food, barely any money, but I had some, God is always there. He always provides. So I know that. And I always try to keep that. So, but I was good, like with the food, the little bit of food that I had, eventually it got a little bit better. So I was like, all right, cool. And that was all I cared about. All I cared about was having enough food, having a place to live. And, I didn't want to work because I was in so much pain, but I was like, all right, since I have no choice, I got, I'm able to pay my rent with that. So I was like, all right, fine, did it. So it was October. Oh, so October. So I just started the job. I'm like 2 weeks in, I'm doing training. And one day I'm going to work in the afternoon, whatever, going to work. I only work 4-hour shift too. So that was like, I was like, I can do that. 4 hours is, that's okay. Like, I'm in pain, but compared to what I was doing before, I was like, I can do this, as long as I can pay my rent and survive, I'm good. And I just dealt with the pain, right? And I was going to therapy still, going to therapy these past almost 4 years now. So anyway, so I'm going to work one day. I'm running for the bus. I'm about to be late. Not running. I'm sorry. I'm not running because I can't really run. I'm just like lightly like jogging, whatever, like barely because of my back. But by this time, it's like, the swelling is there, but it's like, I'm used to the pain at this point. After like a year, I'm used to the pain, but it was still enough to, to put me down. Can't do the same things I could do before. So, but anyway, so I'm going to work, and there's an alleyway. I'm walking down the street, and there's an alleyway, from coming like horizontal. So I'm walking straight towards the alleyway, and there's a big sidewalk, like a curb, like a big, huge step. And I did not even see this. I didn't even know. I didn't even like. I seen the step. I saw the step, but I didn't even judge how big the step was because it was like I went back and I checked and I was like, it doesn't even like. I took a picture actually. I'll show it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you the step. I'm gonna show you the step right now. Yo, you still here, anybody? Or let me see if I can show you this step. Wow, I just remembered about this. So anyway, so I walk in. I'm walking to the bus, and I'm actually on my phone like an idiot, and so that's But I saw the step. I just didn't judge how freaking big it was, and so I stepped out. The first thing, my left foot went down, or over the step to the ground, and boom, my whole ankle just took a full like 90-degree angle, and I fell to my knees. I didn't fall to the ground, but I fell to my knees, and I was like, wow, like I was just stunned, like right there. I was like, this cannot be happening right now. Just started a new place. Back is still killing me like crazy. I have no money. What am I gonna do? And then I freaking get another injury. So I'm like, I took a minute. I was like, damn. I brushed it off. Once again, I was limping. Well, this is, I think still my legs didn't even hurt at this point, like my sciatica part. it wasn't even hurting at this point. So I don't know what it was. It was like a health clinic center, but they do MRIs. I mean X-rays. So I took an X-ray in my foot. Once again, they screwed me over because they said there was nothing wrong. But meanwhile, it was swollen and it felt like something was at least fractured, and it still hurts to this day. And that was in 2019. So I mean, now I just I massage it a lot, ice whatever, do whatever I can because that's all I can do. I can't do anything about it. I'm not getting surgery for sure. So I'm just gonna have to deal with that. But I'm still in pain for my foot. So anyway, so I'm limping, and I'm limping like this is like the worst I've been limping so far in 2019, October. So I go to work and everybody's like, "What happened? What happened?" I'm like, I fell on the way to work. It was like, damn, so you got a bad back and you hurt your foot now? I was like, damn. I'm like, yep, that's just my luck. So um so yeah, so my foot was like that for like a whole month, like maybe 2 months. My foot was just like actually no, the whole winter. The whole winter my foot was just like swollen. I mean, after like, maybe like a month or two, I've just dealt with it, but it was still hurting. Um, I feel it in my foot. But so that happened. So now fast forward, right? We get to 2020, right? And we all know what happens in 2020. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think of any words, but anyway, so 2020 comes. So I'm still working at this job, whatever, doing therapy. Everything is going okay. Like I'm okay for this time being. Um, I'm just like waiting it out, trying to, just taking it day by day, seeing what happens. That's it. That's basically what I'm doing. I was survive. I didn't have to worry about, anything because I had everything was good. Like I had my rent was good, was working, for the rent, and I was good. I had food and everything, so I was like, okay, fine. And that's when I knew for sure, like, okay, I really don't need anybody. I mean, you always need you need somebody, but I like to get where I want to be. Like you don't really need anybody. You got to do it yourself because, like I wrote down a little while ago, no one's gonna come to save us, right? Nobody's gonna come and save us. So, um, I think we've been learning that from the whole what's been going on. Not to say that what's been going on is not bad and it's not evil and it's not like we shouldn't stop talking about it because I that's why I'm here. Like I'm still talking about it. Like I still want to talk about it. So I don't think we should stop talking about it, but I also want to try and help other people, and that's why I'm doing this. And I want to try and start my own thing. I want to start my like like a health store, like something like that. I've been saying this. I want to get in touch with. I forgot to shout out super fragilist, super fragilist, cadulistic. Sorry. I gotta email her. See if I can find out some more information. So that's what I want to do. That's what I'm trying to get at with this channel because I mean I'm not getting any younger. We're not getting any younger, right? So we got to try to figure out what's going on, and we got to do the best that we can. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be the best that I can. So thank you, anybody listening. So hopefully I'm already an hour in. It's pretty good. I'm trying to find this picture still. I'm sorry. I'm just like got a lot of things right now in my mind. um, and I feel like yeah, I feel like we need to like we've been getting together a lot, so that's good. But I feel like I want to get involved more. I want to get more people involved too. If being that I'm involved. Um, yeah, I don't know if I can find this picture right now, but I have it somewhere. Maybe I'll show it in the next stream. Really can't find this picture. Oh, I think it's in my other phone. That's why. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's in my other phone. I'll just wait. All right. So back to the story. So January, so February, March. So we know what happens in March. They send us home. Um, they send us home like the next day, like March, whatever it was, 10th or 11th, something like that. They sent us home the next day, and so I was like, okay, this is. I was like, I get a break because I get to relax from my back and stuff like that, and I get to just work on my back and just chill basically. And they was paying us, so I was like, all right, whatever. I'm not gonna say no. And I was working, and it happened unexpectedly, so I'm not gonna just sit here and just say, oh no, don't pay me. I need to pay rent, like, or either that or the landlord's not gonna accept any rent, one or the other. Um, anyway, what's up, Jellyhead? How you doing? Good to see you here. Um, so yeah, so I'm home now and trying to work on my back and everything, and so yeah, and then I'm watching everything on I don't know if you guys are probably around at that time, but I was deep in the truth community already, flat Earth and everything. So with all that was going on, I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, what is going on? So this is my story. So this is what's been going on the past 3 years, almost 4 years now, 3.5. What did you get on at a airport, mate? What did you get on? What do you mean by that? I don't get it. So yeah, so let me see, what can I go with this now? So all right, so like in June 2020, right? I'm like, this is crazy, right? We all like, this is crazy, this is crazy. Got the mask on and everything. Um, I'm just like, nah, I can't do this. Like, I'm not taking no shot, nothing. So they called me back into work like in June, I believe. I believe it was in June. So from March to June, I was home, and then June they called us back. And mind you, I'm in a lot of pain because I was home and I wasn't like getting up every day. Like, I was going to therapy still, whatever. I was taking a little bit of walk. I was taking walks every day for sure. So I wasn't not doing anything. Like, I was doing stuff and I was stretching a little bit at home. But I couldn't even do much of that. So, what was I saying? Um, where did you go on your holidays? To an airport? Did you get on? Um, I actually did. I did take a plane, and but this was like in 2021. So I'll get into that later. But right now I'm still in 2020. So yeah. So what was I saying? So yeah. So it's June. They called us back, and I'm like, I don't know what to do because I'm like, if I go back, then I have to wear the mask and I have to, obey, comply and obey. And plus my back was killing me. So I'm like, I can't, I don't want to do this. Like, I just don't want to do this. So I said, okay, I'll go back, whatever. And then, so I went back, right? First day I go back, it's like June. And they tell me to put the mask on. So I put it on for like a minute just to get in the door. And then I take it off. And then I went to sit down and everything. And I'm sitting there like in for like half an hour. I'm sorry, Jelly. I don't understand what that means. Did you call it aeroplane or airplane? I did try it, and it worked and worded so you would answer. Maybe it's my accent. Do you understand my accent or? I got a heavy accent probably. Um, but so what was I saying? Um, so yeah, so I'm like I don't want to go back. So whatever. So I went back to I sat down at my desk, took the mask off. I was there for like 45 minutes, just like waiting to see what was gonna happen. Then finally they came up to me. They was like, you gotta put a mask on. Like, say, I just don't feel comfortable with it. I just don't want to put it on, stuff like that. They called me to the office. They was like, and right away I was like, yeah, they trying to get me. They trying to do something, trying to get me out, whatever. So, and mind you, if I lose the job, then what am I gonna do? And then we got all this other stuff going on with everywhere else. Everybody's doing it, not just this job. It's every job. So yeah, it was always airplane. It's always been airplane to me. Aeroplane. Maybe there are some like smaller planes that are called aeroplane. I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh, I should look it up. That's interesting. Aeroplane. Let's see what that word means. Aeroplane. Oh, British. A powered flying vehicle with fixed wings and a weight greater than that of air into places. An airplane. What? Wait a minute. It's the same thing. The spelling, which spelling is correct? Aeroplane or airplane? Airplane and aeroplane are the same thing, but aeroplane is preferred British spelling. Aircraft. You're in the UK, right? That's why I asked, what do you catch at the airport? What do you say? Airplane, airplane. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the US, so we call it airplane. Yeah, UK. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. So do you call it aeroplane there? Like, is that what y'all say? But yeah. Um. So yeah, maybe I'll do a part two to this. I don't know, or maybe I should just finish it. I don't know, because now we're in 2020. I still got 2 more years to go. I always said airplane. Yeah. Yeah, I know like people in the over there in the UK, they say when they pronounce it, it sounds like aeroplane too sometimes. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of changes, but aeroplane is preferred British spelling. Aircraft refers to anything that can fly, such as a helicopter or hot air balloon, in addition to airplanes. Aeroplane. Hmm, it's interesting. I never really I never really. What do you think about the engines too? The engines moving forward, because apparently now that is that's been a change, has been affected, and but now with the new change, it's supposed to work more efficiently, better, better and efficiently. So yeah, that could be a part of it too. That could be a connection right there. Yeah, they look strange. Yeah, they are because and they're all like that too. Like you could barely find one plane with the engines right underneath it. Barely. Like most of all pictures you would see is all forward front engines, ahead of the front of the wing. So that's definitely that's definitely odd to me. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think I might end this. I don't see nobody else in the chat, but So yeah. I'm trying to think. What should I do? Should I end it now or should I finish my story? I think I'm gonna end it now. I'm gonna end it now because I'm starting to get background noise too, and it's gonna be annoying. My computer is well, I got 60% left. Sorry, Mr. Stream Bro got here at the end. No, it's cool. Just you can watch it later if you want. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a part two maybe tomorrow. I'll try to do it tomorrow, but I don't know. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna end it because they're not people who's watching this later. I don't want them to start to get bored or anything. So I'll just end it now. Let me see. I'll play a song and get out of here. And oh, if just want to say, to anybody live watching this or later on, because of all this that's happened to me, and because of what I'm going through and all this, I really appreciate your support, your help in any way. I'll post a link to my information, my PayPal, whatever. If you guys want to help me out, I literally have $10 left in my account. So if anybody can please help me out, I need $40. I just need $40 to get to the chiropractor so I can get on this traction machine and straighten my back out even more than what it is. And she's gonna crack my back again, and because the last time I went, there was only like one crack, maybe two cracks in my back, which is good because when I start, I'll get into that on part two. Because in part two, I'm gonna talk about how when I started going to the chiropractor for the first time, when I started going, which was in October 2021, and I'll go from there, and I'll explain how that's going and how that saved my life. The chiropractor saved my life. Chiropractor and therapy saved my life. Literally saved my life. If it wasn't for the chiropractor, and thank you to Rose 777 for giving me information about that and telling me to go, because if it wasn't for that, I probably would have never went, and I probably would have still been in pain. So if she's listening, if anybody can let her know, shout her out, whatever, I'd appreciate that. So see if I can find a song. Sorry, I'm just setting up a song, and then I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna put up a part two soon, maybe tomorrow or not next week or whatever. Give me 1 second to play this song, because you know how it is when you trying to do a few things. All right. Much love. I want to know more. Jeremy, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Like I said, I'm going to post my links, and if anyone wants to help, please, I appreciate it. If not, I'm still going to try and make this like my job, That's what I want to do, because I like, how am I going to go back to work? Like, knowing what I know and this stuff with my back injury. I mean, like I said, I'll get into it more with the back, but even though it's a little bit better now, I'm still in pain. I've still been in pain this whole year. I just started getting better a little bit, or a lot actually, but this year, which is almost 4 years later. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Play this song, and see you guys later. Much love. Flag gang. Yeah.
I remember when I started school, I think I was 5 years old. The teacher pulled out a globe to teach us the Earth's a globe. I believed what I was told, embracing my education. Didn't know that globes were only created for decoration, not for scholastic purposes that make people feel purposeless. We're living on level surfaces covered by the firmament. I remember how absurd it sounded when I first heard of it, but our God is fervent and his word is perfect and permanent. We're programmed when we're children, our minds are kept in a prison. This is the work of the devil, the evil plan of a villain. We're taught to accept how we're living in these hellish conditions, and every day we're unwittingly being helped by magicians. By Satan's hand they are driven, they're strictly sent to dismantle the population. They won't stop till your soul is stripped from its vessel. They claim your life is an accident and you're really not special. Don't be afflicted by their fiction, come and get on my level. They say the world's a globe, but the evidence doesn't cut it. They just give us cartoon pictures and everyone seems to love it. But the earth's a level plane, whether or not you want it. Take a look and do your research, I bet that you can't debunk it. 23 billion bucks, that's a hell of a fucking budget, just to lie to everyone and successfully fool the public. If you wanna break away from your destiny as a puppet, then research flat earth, but don't be upset when you can't debunk it. They clearly can't prove their theories. Come and get on my level. Something's fishy, these fools are shifty. Come and get on my level. They can't trick me, their lies are silly. Come and get on my level. It's a pity, they treat us shitty. Come and get on my level. Hurry quickly, we must get busy. Come and get on my level. Yeah, it's risky, but just stick with me. Come and get on my level. Can you hear me? Please don't be dreary. Come and get on my level. Don't be with me, you people really need to get on my level. ODD TV, I'm coming with the disruption. With all my flat earth homies on a Hitler production. Separate fiction from fact, we're gonna end the corruption. Letting people know the earth is flat, end of discussion. Dave Murphy is your teacher, boy, class is in session. And Eddie Bravo's in this bitch to teach your asses a lesson. Tanner Stewart's in the house, he's gonna show you the ropes. He's gonna school you on how NASA's just a joke and a hoax. Let me introduce you to the rest of my posse. We got Johnny G and Papa and Santos Bonacci. We're at the core of the resistance and we'll never obey. And there's my brother from another mother, Eric Dubay. If he debates Neil deGrasse Tyson, he will rip off his head. I'll rap about it on a beat I made and rip it to shreds. If the earth's a globe, then how come they can't give an example? Their lies are flimsy, it's a pity. Come on, get on my level. They say the world's a globe, but the evidence doesn't cut it. They just give us cartoon pictures and everyone seems to love it. But the earth's a level plane, whether or not you want it. Take a look and do your research, I bet that you can't debunk it. 23 billion bucks, that's a hell of a fucking budget, just to lie to everyone and successfully fool the public. If you wanna break away from your destiny as a puppet, then research flat earth, but don't be upset when you can't debunk it. They can't prove their theories. Come and get on my level. Something's fishy, these fools are shifty. Come and get on my level. They can't trick me, their lies are silly. Come and get on my level. It's a pity, they treat us shitty. Come and get on my level. Hurry quickly, we must get busy. Come and get on my level. Yeah, it's risky, but just stick with me. Come and get on my level. Can you hear me? Please don't be dreary. Come and get on my level. Don't be with me, you people really need to get on my level.
ODD TV.